Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Understanding Fees and Dues. Before we get started tonight, we do want to remind everybody that we do questions at the end during these. So please save your questions till the end. And also, we would like for you to please keep your microphone muted during our presentation. My name is Rob DeFazio, and I am a membership and unit service executive with the Mayflower Council. So we're going to talk about fees and dues, what they are, how they are paid, and how to explain it to new families as we get ready for Joint Scouting Day coming up on September 10th. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We hope you get a lot out of this seminar. And before we get started, I'm sure you're all aware that the Mayflower Council is well into our 2022 marketing campaign to educate our public and potential members about scouting, especially Cub Scouts. This campaign provides for leads that come in to be forwarded to our new unit member coordinators. It's crucial that to our success and to yours that every unit is prepared. That's why we do these, and we can educate and generate leads from interested families. But at the end of the day, it is up to each individual unit to close the sale. And as we get closer, we have more seminars that are going to be coming up. We have one next Tuesday night, the 26th, that's going to talk about how to approve all those applications that are going to be coming in online. And part of the reason why we're doing this is we are transitioning to an August 1st online application only platform. So we're no longer going to be accepting paper applications. It is going to be online only. And we know that this is a change. And I want to get everybody kind of into where we're at with this and give a little bit of explanation. Richard Hooker once said that change is not made without inconvenience, even from worse to better. And this is going to be a better transition for the council and for your unit, especially if you've had to wait for applications to be approved, or if you had to have something changed on a scout's profile. It's taken a little while, but one of the things about this, and I'll explain it in a minute, is going online and having the parents fill out the application online gets it in the system a lot easier and does reduce the risk of any kind of typographical error. The other thing that I do want to put out there is Alan Watts once said that the only way to make sense out of change is to plunge into it, move with it, and join in the dance. That's kind of why I put the cool music in the beginning. So I hope you enjoyed that. Let's get started and talk about this online application transition. It does begin on August 1st, and there are many advantages to us going strictly online. The first one is that online applications are easy to send using invitation managers. So I'm going to move some things around here for a second. And I'm going to show you, this is beascout.org. And I want to just show, you've got a couple of opportunities here. Obviously, you've got the Apply Now button, which allows the user to actually do this all online right on the web. The other part, though, is when somebody requests more information, it comes to you through invitation manager, And what winds up happening is you respond to them and eventually can send that lead an application online. So that is one of the big steps, one of the big advantages to having online applications. Information using the online application, once it's received and approved, it's imported into your Scouts roster and Scout book within 24 hours. And that's really cool on a couple of different levels. When we get to rechartering later on this year, we're not going to have to enter in all those new Scouts that maybe we're still waiting for the applications to be processed on. This is an almost instantaneous platform, which is why we're transitioning to it. The third thing is something I've already alluded to, and that is the number of errors that can be decreased because the parent enters the information themselves. So there's nobody looking at a paper application going, is that an O or an E? The parent can take care of doing all that right online, and it does make things a little bit easier. And payment for national and council fees are collected using the online application platform, which is why we're doing this series tonight and talking about this a little bit more. So why do we charge membership fees and dues? Well, nationally, the Boy Scouts of America, we're a pretty big organization, and we do provide many services to our members. This fee helps the BSA maintain all of their programs and pays the background expenses needed to keep scouting running. Locally, the Mayflower Council has operating costs associated with providing the scouting program to our communities throughout Massachusetts, including our 3 camps. And for your unit, you've got badges, you've got different things that you are going to need for your scouts. So to charge a unit due, some do and some don't. And whatever your particular unit decides to take advantage of is going to make it a little bit easier to cover that, whether you choose to offset it with popcorn sales or whether you choose to charge a small fee that maybe includes a credit towards one of the events that we're doing council-wide. You have an opportunity to do that, and if it covers your expenses, why not collect it? So let's talk about some fee types real quick. The national fee is $75 as of August 1st. It is collected online, and again, it covers the cost of those essential services, including liability insurance for members participating in approved scouting activities, background checks for adults. Again, a lot of those behind the scenes things that we don't really think of when it comes to putting scouting out there are covered from the national fee. The council fees are remaining the same at $36, and that is also collected online. It is the local program fee that covers the cost to administer unique local programming efforts. For your new scouts, there is a $25 joining fee. I've listed it here as a new member fee. It is a one-time fee. So when they pay on Joint Scouting Day, at the end of the year, when you go to collect the dues for next year, there's not going to be a $25 fee. And that again is collected online. And if the parent decides that they would like to subscribe to Scout Life, the official youth publication of the Boy Scouts of America, that is $15 a year as of August 1st, 2022. And that's distributed 10 times throughout the year. It's filled with great stuff that scouts can learn more about from other scouts. They can learn what other scouts have done to make their mark in scouting. It's a really cool publication for them to read. And then there is unit dues, which is going to be paid directly to the unit. So when you look at everything that's paid online, the big misnomer is that the parents have to pay all these fees individually, which is totally not the case. They're going to pay all of these fees online when they enroll the scout using the online application. So there's one payment going there, and then there's going to be a payment that's going to come to your unit if you're collecting unit dues, and that is a separate fee. And however you choose to collect it with your unit, whether you're taking checks, cash, credit cards, if you have a Square account, or maybe using some of the digital pocketbooks, digital wallets, that we've talked about before. However you're collecting that is between you and the parent. And we obviously want to make sure that if you are charging dues, that you are able to collect it. So the breakdown, if you look at the breakdown right here, you can see that we do run a prorated dues program here in the Boy Scouts of America, and with the national and council activity fees, and even with the subscription to Scout Life. So it's all listed here, and you can see there's a couple of things here that I'm going to go over. The first one is it is a prorated scale. So hypothetically, let's say somebody joined in January, they do pay that full year fee. The dues cycle in the Boy Scouts of America is January through December. So for example, when we get to September, they're going to pay a $25 national fee. They're going to pay $12 to the council, the $25 new member joining fee, which comes to $62. And then if they would like to add Scout Life for the remainder of the year, it is $5, bringing that total to $67. Now you can see here on this worksheet, and this worksheet will be available on the Mayflower Council Mayflower Council website within the next day or two. And this is actually a Google sheet that you can go in and you can enter your dues right here. Okay. And what will happen is this total fee area will adjust based on what you enter here. So for example, if you look at December, and we'll talk about why the price increase, we won't get ahead here. Whoops, where'd we go? There we go. As you can see here, it's 160.25. I entered $20 just for demonstration purposes. That brings it to 180.25. So let's talk about why is October, November, and December higher than the rest? Well, it is a national setting that we are nationally, we're charging not only for October, November, and December dues, but when a scout applies in October, November, December, we're not only going to take the dues for the remainder of this year, we're going to collect the dues for all of next year. So you're not going to, let's say somebody comes to Joint Scouting Day, right? And they decide they're going to go home and think about it. Maybe they're going to come to your first meeting and check things out. And they decide on October 1st that they're going to join Pack 7. Well, what they're going to do is they're going to pay $93.75 on the national level, $45 on the council activity fee. The joining fee doesn't change whether they apply in January or December. So that brings it to $163.85. However, those fees in October, November, December cover the remainder of the current year and the following year in full. So you're not going to have to collect from those parents at the end of the year. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about how to explain it, because this has been a big topic of discussion and there has been a lot of concern about it. I have a couple of graphics up here on the screen that I want to share with you real quick. And I do have these designed. If it's something you would like for your unit, I'll be happy to have this uploaded as well on the council website so you can download them. But it does break it down. And for example, this sheet to the left here, on this first column, this is if you're looking at it in September, right? So it's 25, 12, 25, and 5. So we've broken it down and say you're going to pay this fee online with the application. And then the unit dues is collected separately. So the easiest way to explain it is you're going to pay this fee online, right? You're going to pay all these fees online, and it's one payment. And I want to make sure we emphasize that. It's one payment online and then one payment to the unit to collect their dues. Okay. And you can see again, we did put this chart in here so that you had a point of reference. Now, there are some other concerns about this, and that is, how do we make sure that everybody understands this? Well, there are a couple of ways to do this. And one of the ways you can do this is in your your beascout.org pin. And I want to show you something right now. This is Organization Manager in my.scouting. And we're going to use Pack 7 as an example tonight. Down here, there are some emails that you can send to parents. When somebody applies, this is emailed out afterwards. And as you can see, Pack 7 collects an activity fee to cover your Cub Scouts costs for advancement, recognition, belt loops, pins, etc., a Pack 7 t-shirt, and a Pinewood Derby kit. So they go a little bit generous. So you can do whatever you want as far as what your dues is going to cover. And they also put in here that because scouting is a year-round program, they also will collect the national and council fees for all of 2023. Again, unless the scout applies in October, November, December, then that's going to be covered. They're in the middle of updating this right now. And they actually also have a website where people can go, and it's one of those Square websites. So they have a Square account and people can go on and pay those fees online. There's also a welcome email here, and you can see that they do have information here. And this welcome email is sent out once the application is accepted by you or your new member coordinator. You can put information about the full pack meeting and when that takes place. And again, they do emphasize that they are going to be collecting an activity fee or unit dues to cover the Cub Scouts cost of advancement recognition, et cetera, et cetera. And they explain it so that people don't confuse it with the other stuff here. Okay. So they actually explain that in this. And this is something, again, that you can set so that when somebody uses your beascout.org pin to apply online, or basically with your online application, it doesn't have to be through beascout.org, but when they submit their application online, these emails are going out as reminders that there is an activity fee. So there's plenty of opportunity to do that. In addition, you can put it in your pack description. So as you can see, a Pack 7 is proudly serving the Situate communities and beyond. Join the adventure. They can also you could set your beascout.org pin, your unit pin, to be able to, in additional unit information, you can actually put what your unit dues is going to be so that people are aware of it beforehand, and put that it is collected by the unit and it's not any of those fees. So you do have some resources here to be able to inform your parents and your prospective parents about exactly what's going to be happening here. So again, I think we've broken it down a little bit about how to explain it to parents. And the one thing, and I was away last week at commissioning training. I want to bring this up because I think it's kind of important to talk about here. I did talk about what we're doing here, and I have yet to have heard anybody give me feedback that they have lost a prospective scout sale because the parent had to pay online and had to pay separately to the pack for their unit dues. And again, you do have some options here, right? Like, you have the opportunity to say, we're not going to collect dues, we're going to sell popcorn, and we're going to use that money to cover all of our overhead, which is great. Now, there are some other questions here. For example, there's some units that we're aware of that they pay the joining fee, or they might cover the council fee. And how do we work that? Well, if you collect dues, you deduct it off of the dues. So transitioning, it's all a math game, really, is what it does come down to. Okay, let me catch us up here. So some closing thoughts when talking to parents about this. First of all, keep your explanation simple and factual. Explain to them that the online fees cover the national fee, the council activity fee, the new scout joining fee, and if they want Scouts Life. And explain to them that those are fees that are imposed by National and the council through the online platform. They're collected there because those fees go to them. And then explain that the unit dues is collected by the pack or troop, in whatever case suits your unit, and allows you the opportunity for advancement and to do things like the t-shirt. Maybe you get them a handbook. Maybe you have custom neckerchiefs, whatever that's going to be. Have that covered in your dues, and just explain it to them in real simple terms. If you explain it to them the right way, you're not going to have a problem whatsoever. But also remember, it's not what you say, but how you say it, okay? I have encountered some Cub Masters and Scout Masters that have expressed certain opinions that maybe don't make this look very favorable, which again gets back to step one. Keep it simple and factual. Stick to the facts, and also deliver it the right way. I think we've covered a lot of ground on that tonight to be able to talk to you about that. Ensure them that moving forward, they will make the renewal payments directly to your unit. And again, when you make a payment online, you have the option, you have a way to track the receipt. So if that becomes a concern, they're going to have the credit card charge on their credit card statement. So if that's a concern about, well, why do I have to do that? You know, how am I going to know what's what? Well, this is a copy of what those fees are. And, you know, you're going to have that on your credit card statement too. So, but ensure them that, moving forward, they're going to be able to make those renewal payments online. And remember the end result. You know, we talked about enrolling more scouts, and this does make it a lot easier for you to do your job as a scouting volunteer. And that is, you're empowered to deliver the scouting program that you've signed up for. And that's really important. So this gets a lot of that business stuff right out of the way, and you can jump into the fun stuff, which is a lot easier. So good luck with it, and I hope it's all helpful to you. Well, thank you for attending tonight's workshop. I hope you found this information helpful in preparing for Joint Scouting Day and moving forward with your pack or troop. My name is Rob DeFazio with the Mayflower Council. If you have any questions, you may email me at robd@mayflowerbsa.org or call my extension at 508-217-4623. Once again, thank you for attending tonight and for your continued commitment to your pack or troop in the Mayflower Council.